Hello everyone, welcome back to our Python programming course. In the previous lecture, we learned about dictionaries. We saw how dictionaries store information using key value pairs and how they are useful for managing structured data such as student records and employee details. Today, we are going to learn one of the most important concepts in programming, which is functions. Functions make our programs organized, reusable, and easier to maintain. Almost every real Python application uses functions. Whether you are building a website, a game, an AI application, or a banking system, you will find functions everywhere. Let's begin. So, what is a function? A function is a block of code that performs a specific task. Instead of writing the same code again and again, we write it once inside a function and call it whenever we need. Think of a function like a calculator. Whenever you press the addition button, the calculator performs addition every time without rewriting the logic. Similarly, functions allow us to reuse the code. Why do we need functions? Suppose you want to print welcome messages 5 times. Without functions, it would look like this. Print hello world, and you want to print it 5 times, so you have to write print again and again. But you may be wondering, I can use loops. That's correct. But suppose there is a situation where you have to run a program, then your hello world should print again for 5 times. You can do that repetitively. It will also repeat and your code will become a cluster. So instead of writing code again and again, you may use a function like this. There is a def, then function name and its parameters. Likewise, I say greet, name it greet, and parenthesis. Here comes the parameters for the function, and I want to print hello world 5 times. And I copy it 5 times. Now if I go and write a function again here, let's say greet, I named it greet, so greet, and I again run it. So I can see I ran it only once, but it printed for the 5 times. If I multiplied it for 2-3 times, now it will multiply by 5, so 15 hello world are there. So just by writing only once, you can repeat it by using the function. Now we will see the function with parameters, how to use them. Suppose we want to welcome different students. Instead of writing separate functions, we pass information to the functions. For example, if I write greet, I choose a parameter here, name, and I greet it with the name Rohan, and I print it. Okay, I have to write it here also, name comma hello world, and now I run it, so it will give us Rohan hello world. And I'll print one more, print by name here. So just using a parameter here, I'll write a function and a parameter. I have named a parameter as name, so this will Rohan will go to the parameter here in the function, then it will be executed here, print name and then by name. So if I write greet Rohan, it should give me a 2 print Rohan hello world and by Rohan. I can change its name here like Rahul, and I again run it. So as you can see, it makes our task easy just by writing a function name and its parameters, and it greets the user like Rahul hello world and bye Rahul. And also when we call out a function, these the where I have written Rahul and Rohan, these are called arguments. When we call the function with parameters, we call them arguments. Now we can add multiple parameters in the same function also. For example, I want to make it name and its age. Hello, name will be hello. Then name is here, and your age is, here comes the age. So whenever I want to take the name and age of a person, I will choose Rohan, comma, his age is, let's suppose, say 18, and I print it, hello Rohan, your age is 18. So using this I can ease off my workload. I can change its value here. Now say I want to greet to Rohan and his age is 20. Hello Rahul, your age is 20. So as you can see, functions make our program much easier to write and makes our code less cluttered. Now adding using function, we can make some programs to just basically a calculator to add our values. We will make it, comment it down here. Define a function name will be add, because we are doing addition, a comma b, addition of two parameters. Now I'll add both of them. Print sum which will be a plus b, and now when I call it, add 5,2 which will be 7. Let's run it. As you can see, sum is 7. I write here 200 comma 300, it should give us 500 now. As you can see, sum is 500, so our program is working correctly. Similarly, you can make a subtraction one to subtract the values. It's basically the same. You have to make some changes, then subtraction sub 300 comma 200, it should give us 100 now. Sum, as you can see, okay, I have used 2 times. Now sum is 500, subtraction is 100, so our subtraction is also working perfectly. Now we'll see functions with return values. Until now our function displayed the results, but sometimes we want the function to return a value, so Python uses the return keyword. For example, if you want to assign a value to a variable in using the function, what I am trying to say is, I have made a function here which will multiply a comma b, and and I want to return its value, return A into B. Now I can return this value into any variable outside the scope of global scope. Likewise, I want to assign its multiply value to A, so I'll do what is multiply 5 and 5 comma 10, which will be 50, and I want to print the value of A, assigned value of A, which will be 50. So as you can see here, 50 got printed here. I can also do like this. Multiple of A and B is A. Multiple of A and B is 50. So our program is working correctly here. So what does return does this? It just returns the answer instead of printing it down. So let's build another example. Let's do a divide one. I'll define a function here, division function, A comma B. You can add here as many parameters as you want. So I'll return A divided by B. Now when I run it, assign its value to, let's suppose, D, division of 10 by 3, 10 comma 3, and print D. As you can see here, 3.33, our answer is correct. Now we will see why print and return is different from one and each other. So number one is just basically prints the value whenever you call the function, but when you return it, it gives the answer back to the program, allow us to use later. So it just assigns a value to any variable we want. So return is generally considered more useful. Now default parameters we can also add into the functions. For example, likewise, I have defined function here, student, and I want my parameters to be default as none. If someone doesn't put their arguments in the name, it should get printed as none. I'm printing return name, or I'll just simply print it. It will be more feasible. Print your name is, and I'm gonna now take the function, call out the function as Rohan. Let's see what it does. Okay, your name is common name, your name is Rohan. If I put it empty, your name is none. If the user doesn't give us the parameter, it should print 1. So default parameter is none here. Now keyword arguments. Normally the arguments are passed in orders. For example, I'll show you with the example. If there is a function named data and arguments I will give as name comma age, and I'll print it, print hi comma name your age. So our function is ready. Now we'll see how I can change the sequence using the arguments. If I want age to be 18 and name to be Rohan, Python will understand automatically, hi Rohan, your age is 18. But your question will be, here is the name and here is the age, so you have used the age first here and then the name. But if you assign the parameter keyword arguments, you pass the keyword arguments by assigning it, so you can change and put the arguments whatever format you want. If I say want to add name then age, then I have to default like this, Rohan, and then age. It's just because if you know the argument parameters, you can add just like this. But if you don't remember your functions what I have written in the order, you can just simply choose the age, the name, and any arguments you have put into the function. It just improves the readability. Now variable scope, which is created inside a function, are called local variables. For example, inside a function func1, I have name, or I just doesn't pass it. I make a variable here, football for example, and I print it, print a, and then I call this function func1. It should print football now. As you can see here, football. But if I call out the variable a, it will not get printed because it's a local variable in a function. It doesn't belong to the global. As you can see here, error, name is not defined because this a variable I have called here, which is not present in the global scope. Instead it is in the function, so I can only call out in the function, not in the global scope. Now global variables are created outside function. For example, if I have a equals to football here, this is a global variable. So if I call out like this, just like this, and I now print call out the function, it will print the football as it is, because a is global here. It can be used outside the function and also inside the function. If I print it outside the function, it will also get printed here. But earlier in the function, when a was in the function, it was not getting printed. So it just a simple differentiation between global and local variable scope. Now recursive function, or a function which can call itself, this is called a recursion. For example, if I want to make a program for countdown, I can make it with, I'll define a function here. Define countdown, make any variable c. If I'll make a condition here, if c becomes 0, our program should return, else return else print and we are making a recursive function, so I'll make countdown as -1, so it will call again whenever the number reaches 0, it will return nothing and get outside of the function. Let's now run it. Let's say countdown from 10. It should give countdown from 0 to 10 to 0, as you can see. Okay, I have already assigned 0 as none return, so it has gone from 10 to 1. If I change its value from +1, it adds up, so it will run infinitely. As you can see here, started from 10 and up to infinity. Program has broken because maximum recursion depth exceeded, that's why it has exited, but it continues to go on and on. Now lambda function, which is a function which Python provides as a small anonymous function. For example, I can do like command it down, make a variable here. Let's suppose I want to multiply lambda function bda, I think bda lambda of x is 2x into x. Let's suppose I want to make let's make it a square one, squared, and now it will give us a squared of any number. Let's print it, squared of 5. It should give us 25 now. If I change its value from 5 to 10, it should give us 100 now. So lambda function is used to basically cut down the code into a short code. It's just basically used for using the short command operations and makes our codelets clutter free. Now we will make a program which is finding the largest number. We have already done it, but today we will do with it with the function. Now we will define a function maximum of a comma b. If now we'll use conditions. If a is greater than b, return a, else return b. And now we are gonna call out the function maximum of 10 comma 20, which is 20. Okay, I have to assign make a variable here, maximum now I'm gonna print a. Now let's check. Here as you can see 20 is the greatest one, so it gives out the greatest. Now if I go 200, 200 is greater. If I put here 1000, 10,000, so it should give us 10,000. The program is basically doing coming into the function, taking the values of a and b into here. If a is greater than b, it will return a, else it will return b. Just basic if else condition. Now we will calculate area of rectangle. Let's make it it's same. Just we have to multiply and make a area of t, area of triangle, which has length and breadth. We will return length into breadth, which is very simple code. Length into breadth. Now area equals to area of t suppose 10 into 20, and I print area. It should give us now 200. As you can see 200 is there. I make it more, change its value, so our length and breadth are also working perfectly. We can calculate the area of triangle here, rectangle. Now we will proceed to even or odd program, which is also very simple. Defining will be definition even odd, even comma odd, if assign its value to now. If we come here, any number n, if n is percentage to, if n is even, return even, else return odd. Now let's check it. Here 55 is odd. Let's try 2. It's even. 0 even, so our program is working perfectly. Now we'll proceed to factorial of a number. So to do that we have to make a program again. Define factorial of any number n. Make a for loop for I in range one comma n plus 1, so that it goes up to the n. Now I'll make a variable factorial and multiply it by, now multiply the factor with I and also assign here the value of factor equals 1, and I'll return the value of factorial. Now we'll call the function factorial of 5, or let's say 4, which will be 24. Let's see. Okay, I have to assign its value, for example, in factorial of 4 and print its value, which is 24, working perfectly now. Of 10, as you can see here, let's check 0, what it give for the 0. It should give 1. As you can see, 0 is also working. For our factorial program is working perfectly here. Now before wrapping our today's session, we will come to our common beginner's mistake. Now mistake number 1 will be creating a function but forgetting to call it. If you don't call it, nothing happens, but you have it's good practice to call your function wherever you want. Now mistake number 2 will be passing the wrong number of arguments. If you have given 2 arguments, you should pass 2 arguments or define their default argument, or else Python will give us the error. Now mistake number 3 will be confusion with print and return. As I already told you, print, if you use print, it just displays the output. If you use the return, it sends the value back to the calling variable, as we have assigned here a equals to factorial of 0. So it just returns the value and assigned it to the variable a. Just this much difference. Now mistake number 4 will be trying to access local variable outside the function. If you have a variable inside a function, you can't call it out into the global scope. So either make the variable outside the function to use it everywhere you want, or just use it locally in the function if you don't want to call it. Now I want you guys to make a simple calculator just using function. How will you can make it? Just define 3 to 4 functions, for example, for addition, multiplication, subtraction and division, and return their value as a plus b, a minus b, just like that, then assign their values to a variable if you're returning it, and then print all of the functions as addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. And also don't forget to give her the arguments while calling out. Now let's summarize our today's lecture. Today we learned about what is a function, why functions are useful, how we create a function and then call them, parameters and their arguments, return values, default parameters, keyword arguments, local and global variables, recursive functions, lambda functions, some common beginners mistakes, and building programs using a function calculator. Now functions are one of the most important concepts in programming because they help us write reusable, organized and efficient code. As your program grows larger, the function becomes essential for managing complexity. In our next lecture, we'll learn about modules and packages in Python. We'll see how to use Python's built-in modules like math, random, and datetime, and we'll understand how to create and import our own modules. Thank you for watching, guys. Practice writing your own functions for addition, subtraction, multiplication, factorial, and whatever calculations you want. Even use the even odd numbers checking. And I'll see you in the next lecture. Thank you for watching. Peace out. Bye.